Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gwen Vaughn.
Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group live stream with the doctors. Yeah, and we will be talking about smoke and health effects from the wildfire smoke because that's very relevant to our practice this week. And Dr. Gwen, you asked a question before we got started. What was it?
Where's
Mr. Ed? Mr. Ed is involved in the rescue of animals affected by the fires. So we thank Mr. Ed for helping out because there's a lot of, I just heard a story of a patient family that had a horrible tragedy with their animals when they escaped their burning home. And,
right. Yeah, that was pretty intense for them.
Yeah, people are losing, well, lots. Have you heard of any humans being
I have not. Yeah, no.
Significantly injured in all of the fires? So those of you who don't know where we are or what's going on or why this is so much what we're talking about, we live in Auburn, California, which is, 14 miles west of the Mosquito Fire, which is 40,000 acres?
46 last time I checked.
Yeah, and we currently have employees who are evacuated.
Yep.
We have a lot of patients who are evacuated. We're having to refill medication prescriptions for lots of patients because they left the house.
Yeah.
There is a huge fire which is eating up houses and did a significant job of Michigan Bluff, although I haven't heard exact numbers. We know of somebody's home who was saved in Michigan Bluff, even though we saw pictures of, have you seen the pictures?
I did.
Of how it's just burnt. I mean, even their firewood in their...
Right up to there, yeah.
Right in front of their house burned up, but their house was saved by the firefighters.
Yeah. Amazing.
Wow. So, and if you watch any of the news reports, you see what kind of terrain this is. So those of you who follow me on social media, you have seen some still pictures and some time-lapse photos of what the smoke looks like from the office, like right outside.
You can see it right over the bridge, yeah.
And so I guess we'll show that one that you took.
Sure.
And it looks like this. This is a time-lapse that Dr. Gwen took with his camera of what the smoke looks like. That's, what would we say, like about 14 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
This is on day 2 of the fire?
Day 2, day 3, that was Friday? Was it Friday?
Was that day 2 or day 3?
I don't
know.
I think it started
Tuesday, and then I think Wednesday we got some pictures, and then we got the really good ones.
Yeah, it just went crazy.
Amazing. So we need to welcome some. Did you know we have people to welcome?
We do?
Oh, my goodness, look at this. We need to, well, first of all, we need to let Lindsay, of course, know.
First one
here.
here.
We didn't wear our Lindsay.
I have it.
It's on my lab coat, and I do wear it in front of patients. I don't know if anybody's asked about it yet, though. Have you had it?
Nope.
Okay. But Lindsay, we are wearing that. Who else do we have? We have Rusty Bernard saying hi, and Lindsay Entwine. She's already heard that Mr. Ed is helping out with the animals. Yes, he is awesome, isn't he? And Bison American Club, live in the Bay Area, just started carrying
Bison American
a good respiratory with
lives
me
in the Bay
as
Area.
I go out to work.
I would think with a name like that, you'd be in
Like
Wyoming.
a national park
Near
state.
Yellowstone or something. I don't know what the Bison American Club is.
And
Don't know.
you don't have to stress about the pins. They're supposed to be for enjoyment. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
That's what that actually is.
Oh, okay. I can see it on his phone, even though
like squinty eyes. I'm smiling with my eyes. That's what I have to tell my patients.
You know who smiles with her eyes?
Who smiles with
Lydia smiles.
Oh man, she does.
With her eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. So we will move on to talking about smoke inhalation. Now you can find information about this at drgreenknight.com.
You would.
I did not know that when I set up the video, so I didn't know I was supposed to put a link to Dr. Green Knight because I hadn't seen it yet. And
it is
my email.
What? Yeah. It's funny that we're both thinking about the same thing.
Both breathing the same
because
thing.
that's what we're seeing. That's what we are living.
In our office this morning, the smoke smell was so strong just with patients coming in and out that
Yeah.
I felt it in my throat and in my
Me too.
eyes. In the office, indoors.
Inside.
I hadn't gone out at all since I got here from home.
Yep.
So we bought an air
Yeah,
purifier
that's
for the
why
office.
my eyes are red.
Officer. Not burning one with your homies. But
Somebody somewhere's burning one. Burning a part or a
burning a whole Tahoe National Forest.
National Forest, yeah.
Yeah, the smoke. So there's we're talking now just about the irritants in the upper respiratory tract and the eyes, but
Yeah.
these particles, which is mainly what we're talking about with this kind of smoke, is the particles.
Yeah, the bigger particles.
particulate matter.
Yeah.
Little pieces of stuff, and it's burnt, charred matter. And it has been
Sometimes
found.
you can see it falling from
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sometimes the particles are so big you
It's
see.
like-
It looks like snow falling.
apocalyptic.
The ash
Oh,
falling
the
in your
ash
car.
falling from the sky.
Yeah, it reminds me of when we used to hear about Mount St. Helens when I was
Oh,
a
yeah.
kid, when
Yeah.
you were born,
Mhm.
and the ash would fall down on several states east of Washington and Oregon there, and this is. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of it at our
Like
places. Not much with this fire as much as a previous fire.
Yeah,
A year or
yeah,
two ago, I
which
remember it
is
was more of a
interesting.
deal. And it has affected us. It certainly has affected families. Even little things are affected. Like, for example, a doctor who was
yeah.
applying to join us to be, number 3 of the 1-2 here.
Yeah.
And when the fire started, interest in our position kind of went away. He'd
waned
rather not come
quickly.
to this community. It has fires, and he's right. It does, and it is a danger that's been getting worse in recent years. So, talking about particulate matter,
Yeah.
I read that there's lots of particulate matter.
Well read.
What we're talking about here is combustibles, stuff that's burned, charred,
Go on.
different from things like sand and gravel
Yes.
and other types of dust from dirt that you might breathe in. More dangerous.
Yeah.
It seems to be same size particles, so it's not just the size of something getting stuck in your lung. It's somehow interacting chemically or biologically or biochemically with your body so that it's causing more damage than just non-burnt particles.
Yeah.
And it comes in different sizes,
Yeah.
which is going to be significant because we're going to be talking about something you can do, and size matters.
When it comes to
Okay, I'm just going to go to the comments
when
now.
it comes to slapping one on
I'm just
a mask.
what?
What are you thinking
Oh
about?
my goodness! I'm just going to Lindsay's comments here. So
This guy.
Lindsay's comments. She says, I don't know what she's talking about. She just says,
You
"Sure."
guys just got
Dr.
us in
Quinn."
trouble,
I
probably.
think she's
with
talking about your red eyes.
red
or
eyes.
Something like that. And then of course Bianca. Hi Bianca, thank you for joining us also
oh my
and
goodness.
being here. So the size that we're talking about, usually we're like if you look at those online air quality indicators like airnow.gov or Purple Flag,
Purple Air.
Purple Air, is that what
PurpleAir.com.
purpleair.com? And I was going to show you some screenshots from that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was supposed to do. I was
Oh,
supposed
that's
to
what
put
you're
the
supposed to do.
spring, yeah. So I'm not going to do it now. It'd take way too much for the show. The PM25 is what you see indicated.
2.5,
Have you
yeah.
ever looked at those? Ever looked at airnow.gov or
Particulate matter 2.5
or this-
microns?
purple? Yeah, micrometers, microns.
Yeah.
So 2.5 is kind of the size that they're measuring for all of these things to be concerned about what you're breathing, and they have different levels from sub 100 for a clear day up to 500 today in some parts of Auburn,
Plus 500 plus. Yeah.
which is kind of the end of the scale, I think.
it's as high as you can go. We are at that level.
Yeah, we're there. So the reason they're measuring that is that's the level that can cross from the from the airway into your bloodstream in the lungs, where you have this interface between the small little sacs at the end of the branching airways and blood vessels that come through, and the arteries get smaller until it's just capillaries where it's about the size of a single red blood cell passing through at a time. And you have this exchange of gases that occurs there, but also for chemicals that are in the air, inside of the air sac, can get into the blood, and particulate matter at 2.5 micrometers can pass into your blood.
Yeah.
So this is why exposure to this kind of smoke is bad for young children, pregnant women, because it's going to the placenta, and older folks, especially ones with chronic diseases. Everybody thinks of the respiratory. Everybody knows somebody with asthma or COPD, which can be either emphysema or chronic bronchitis. We know that those people, but the heart disease is not always mentioned. I noticed that when they're interviewing somebody on the news the other day. They didn't mention the people with heart disease, who also are especially vulnerable to this kind of particulate matter, and really need to be careful and pay attention to those purple flags.
Yeah.
To airnow.gov or the other one. So anyway, the airnow.gov story, let me tell you about that. Leanne was getting ready to go outside and run.
Here's the story.
And she looked at AirNow and saw that, unhealthy for sensitive groups, meaning
she's not a sensitive group.
For a healthy person, you should be able to go outside and run. You should be all right.
Yeah.
But when she looked at purpleflag.com? Purpleair.com. Instead of using the sensors that airnow.gov use, it uses sensors in people or outside of people. It's crowdsourced. It's people that buy air quality sensors. Why would you spend money on air? I don't know. There's people who are interested. I don't know. Maybe it came with some kind of home security system.
I have no idea.
I don't know. But they sell them, and you're welcome to buy them if you want. They're not as accurate as something that the EPA would have set up at some station.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. She had 3 of them within, just right in our neighborhood or the next neighborhood nearby. 3 of them. 3 of my neighbors are really into watching air quality, apparently, that were set for outdoor readings, and they were all like 400 to 500. Is that what it was?
They're all in the purple. I remember seeing that.
And even though they're not as accurate as the one that you see on air now, if I'm seeing in my neighborhood 3 of them agreeing that it's in the purple, and let me corroborate that with
walking outside,
not being able to see, we could tell it was not healthy for. It was not unhealthy for sensitive groups. It was unhealthy for everybody.
Sure. If you walk outside and smell it, it's usually
and can't see a quarter mile.
Can't see, yeah. The other thing about the purple you got me saying purpleair.com is it updates more often. So it'll give you every 10 minutes it'll update and give you the most recent. So that's very good. That's actually my new favorite website for doing something now. But also, if over at airnow.gov, there's a way you can go to that. There's actually there's a link to it over at darkgreennight.com.
We do a lot of prep for the show.
But anyways, it'll give you a more accurate, if you're in a fire zone, it'll give you a more accurate idea of forecasting for the next day. So that's good. Okay. That's the more accurate forecast that I found.
So we need to go to the comments. Why do we need to go to the comments? Because our only patient who comments on the show is commenting today.
Oh, okay.
Cindy is. Thank you, Cindy. We are always excited.
You must be experiencing bad air quality.
We do this show. We've been doing it for how many years? Doing it weekly, live with an interactive audience, and only one patient of our entire practice is a part of it. Everybody else is out of state or out of the country. Or
we used to have people would comment on our silver play button, but it's in here now. So we hit button.
Yeah, so the patients don't see that we're on YouTube. I guess we should keep it out there so they know that we're on YouTube, because obviously people who are watching us here know that we're on YouTube. Yeah,
we're like internet doctors. Like those TV doctors that don't. That's it. Oh, my audience is my patient.
Have I told you about that podcast? Sounds like a cult.
Yes, you have.
And they talk about different things like Trader Joe's. One of them was television doctors.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cult.
Okay, so let me.
We'll convert you to
Let me bring up Cindy here. So Cindy says, it is really horrible out there, causing me to cough, itchy eyes, getting clogged up. just feel lousy with all this smoke. I'm praying that it ends soon. My lungs can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even indoors, if you
and of course
you don't have a good seal, you're getting.
Cindy's telling us Leanne should not run in this. No, yes, you are correct.
She should not run.
We hadn't gone outside yet to see what it was like. We were just checking the airnow.gov and the other one before deciding.
Gosh, yeah.
And Cindy's happy that she can watch when she can. And Lindsay, that is shameful.
Isn't it?
Patients don't show more support.
Come on.
I agree, Lindsay.
It's almost like they just expect me to do doctor things.
Do doctor things, yeah. Take care of real people instead of.
Hey, I had another patient who watched us every once in a while.
Did you?
I can think of one.
Yeah, but we can only talk about the ones that comment.
She moved, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if that may have been. Yeah, I'm sure there's more. It's just, a tiny fraction of the people who view actually comment during the show. We recognize that.
We appreciate it.
Speaking of which, if you're one of those people that hasn't been catching all of these live shows but likes our channel, you need to hit that bell icon.
We know you're out there.
If you're not already subscribed. If you are subscribed,
then you can see us live.
Yeah, comment during the show. So make sure, if you're watching this later, to be subscribed.
You never know where this is going to go live. People may say things inappropriate.
I don't go back and mark the shows that people can't watch them.
Never edit it.
So the state
edit
board,
out the areas where I say inappropriate things.
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
Who else can just go ahead and
it's all
find
there.
out what I said?
What did he say?
Family members.
Oh. Yeah.
It's out there. They can read whatever. So, so what can we do about these 2.5 micron size? Well, if you do have to be outside when it's bad, or if it's not that bad, but you're going to be out for a while and you should probably protect your lungs, one of those less than purple zones, you can wear masks, face masks. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's the regular surgical face mask that everybody's familiar with now since COVID.
I've got one.
And then there's and these will do something.
They'll do something.
They'll do something. The problem
not
is
as much. There's that sideways.
Yeah, stuff gets around the sides. So that's where the KN95 and N95 masks.
So before N95s had their heyday with COVID, we in California were very well aware of N95s.
Even if you're not a painter.
Yes, even if you're. That's what I used to use before sanding.
Yeah, the N95 and KN95, the purpose of those is to get a seal. Mm-hmm. And even though you're not going to get the chemical that you're supposed to be able to smell and put yourself inside of a hood, and there is a what do we call it, poor man's test? I don't know why we pick on people who aren't
that's because they can't
doing well economically.
That really fancy chemical that you're
nobody's doing it. Nobody's
the
doing
bitter
that outside
whatever,
of
big bitter tasting
out of a
stuff.
hospital. So you put the mask on and you breathe in and out, and you see if the mask sucks into your face, or if air just freely blows in your eyes like it does.
That's usually where you
around the nose and down on the chin are the worst places. So if you're checking for air movement, or if you can feel the air movement around the nose, below the chin, you're not sealed. You're not getting the benefit of an N95 or KN95. So keep playing with the fit of it until you get that.
Yep.
Hold your mouth open the whole time while you're in there. To get, I don't know, whatever it takes, whatever facial contortions you have to make to get a seal around it. And then you'll have less particulate matter coming in around it. Air has to go in and out through the filter action of the mask, and it will help to keep out those 2.5 micrometer size things. Now, some people, certainly with COVID, we had lots of people talking about sizes of particles and size of pores in masks, and how, if it's just filtering something that goes through and doesn't interact with it, then something could pass through the size of the pores of these masks that you don't want to get through. That's not accounting for what happens at that tiny, tiny microscopic level. There's electrostatic charge that plays a big role, and even gravity. Did you know gravity plays a role in the action of masks? And I didn't know that. I read that when I was reading about masks and how they work.
Yeah.
So, and then water droplets.
Yeah.
So, like with
moisture in the air.
COVID, the virus mostly is on water droplets that are very large and don't go through the mask pores. things that are small enough to go through end up getting caught in the mask because of the electrostatic attraction and because of gravity, because these things are in such proximity to each other in the way they interact. So they do something.
Absolutely.
And they do something more if they're sealed.
Yep.
But the best thing to do is not expose yourself to smoke at those levels. Now, you'll notice that it says unsafe for sensitive groups. And unsafe for sensitive groups, if that's actually what it says, you shouldn't be able to smell it, or very, 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 very faintly.
Yeah.
And it should be okay for a person in normal health without chronic heart disease or problems with age or being pregnant or really young. You should be able to walk around in that and do some activity and be fine. It's when it's unhealthy for all groups. That's when you need to be modifying your activity.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that I didn't say that was in your article as I looked for comments?
Well, I think you have all the big points there. Like I said, you can get all the links over there, but those websites can be very helpful, especially if you're around an area with a fire. But even if you're just, in an area and want to look at other stuff.
How can we help Bianca in the UK?
That's a good question. I don't know, because this is a governmental. Maybe Purple Now. Maybe. It's your fault. PurpleAir.com. Maybe.
But it's not going to be .com there.
They have something. I don't know. I have not scrolled over to the UK to see if they have anything.
Oh, we need to do an update for people in the fire areas to let them know that at Dutch Brothers you can't order with a person standing outside. You have to go up to the window.
You had
Just
to
thought
sacrifice
that was
and
important
get out of the car.
to mention on our show.
You had to walk 10 steps.
And that the 16th is what's called Buck for Kids Day, or
No idea.
and I don't know quite how they give the money to the kids, but anyway, I think $1 of every purchase goes to some kind of program. They're very good about supporting the community. We know that about Dutch Brothers. Again, we talk about it so much.
We are very good at supporting
They
them.
should be a sponsor. I'm going to tell her again. Okay, Bianca, the sky above us is such a small space, anything in the air is blown away quickly, LOL. And I'm still shook how far apart things are in the USA. You can get from London to Edinburgh in 8 hours-ish. Where can we get in 8 hours? We can get to Treasure Valley, Idaho.
Driving? I guess it would be driving.
We can get to, you can get to LA in 8 hours.
You can get to LA. You can get past LA.
You
can probably
can't
get to
quite make it to
You can make it to
San Diego.
Carlsbad.
Yeah.
If you
Lego,
drive
there you go.
north, you could probably make it to
Well,
Corvallis.
not quite Portland.
Yeah.
Going north.
Yeah.
And then going east, you can get to,
West, you just run into an ocean.
yeah. East, you can get somewhere between,
You know that better than me. You've driven that.
somewhere
enough.
between Ely and Salt Lake City. Okay, maybe you don't want to go 8 hours east.
There's not much out there. You get out in the middle of nowhere quickly.
Oh, hey, we got a medical question here. Angela Higginbotham asks, is poor air quality a factor for hypertension?
Ooh, great
Now,
question.
hypertension not actually being coronary artery disease.
Right.
I do not know an answer to that, and I got to apologize.
So you're
We're
saying
not supposed to
you're
say we don't
asking
know, but
if
I don't know.
poor air quality can give you high blood pressure. Is that what we're asking?
Well, if
or
that's the
if-
question, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, no is the answer there.
But can it?
But is high blood pressure something
more-
where
are they more
one of those
vulnerable?
sensitive groups? No, I wouldn't think so.
Not convinced that
I
they
would
are.
say no.
And then
But you still want to be out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bianca says a train from Minneapolis to LA is 67 hours.
Who goes by train these days?
Okay, I don't know why Bianca knows that.
67
And then Bianca says a train from London to Edinburgh is 4 hours. Oh, they have fast trains. Oh, they have those Richard Branson trains.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Virgin Transit. I'm not sure what it's called, but Richard it's not Richard.
We don't
Branson.
have great trains.
Richard Branson.
Yeah. That's right. It's not the way to travel. We travel by plane if you're going
there are trains,
distances.
and actually a lot of people use trains for like daily commutes to work.
Yeah.
Like into the Bay Area. What's it called, the California or Capital Corridor,
Mm-hmm.
between Sacramento and the Bay Area.
Right.
But yeah, trains. Well, it's an interesting mode of
routine
travel. You got to really love it. And people do. There's people who are crazy about riding trains.
I like old trains. The train museum's exciting in Sacramento.
Yeah.
My kids love it.
So,
Over in Sacramento, check it out.
did you have anything else or anybody you wanted to thank?
It sounds like you're trying to. What do you think? Wink. Who do you want to thank? I do. Strangely enough. Yeah. Anyways, you should go check out that article on the air quality, especially if you are around somewhere that has a fire, or and there's even a link to a pretty good resource there that locally that we use for our fire information. So check that out. Over there, I do have a Patreon, and I want to thank Teresia Rowatt and Lindsay Antwine for making that happen. You guys are appreciated.
I thought you were going to say, I want more people to sign up
I want more people to sign up.
on the Patreon. Me too. I want.
Yeah.
We'll have a link here for mine. Yours is.
For more Dutch folk.
That's right. And we do thank you. Those people who are doing the Patreon, they have their names over here where Gwen is now. They'll be there shortly.
Yeah. Will air quality affect my blood pressure? No, it shouldn't.
I don't know. Yeah, I really don't. Unless there's something specific in the air, not just the combustibles, though.
Right. Something that
I
would
have no knowledge of that. Of course, this is an area where there's not a lot of research because they don't get people voluntarily to breathe smoke and then
Here.
test them.
Yeah, because that would be
So
unsafe.
yeah, they don't do these blinded
It's still not
studies.
good to go out. If you have high blood pressure, still try to avoid it. Like all
Thank
of us
you.
should be doing. There you go.
I'd also like to thank Lindsay Antwine, who brings this show to so many people who appreciate it. Thank Lindsay. And if you'd like to have your name mentioned like hers or on the screen like hers, you can by going to Patreon. Until next time. Yeah. And Dr. Marfon telling you to stay in good health.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.